Okay, well, we're currently talking about how to do an interview. So once you've identified the qualities in somebody, you have those team building packets ready to go, you know your plan, you've got to figure out, okay, how do I ask somebody for an interview? Just like you have to know, how do I ask somebody to book an appointment? And I think one of the things that can be a little bit scary sometimes is that when we're approaching someone about having more information about Mary Kay, they might think that we're trying to talk them into becoming a consultant. And really, here's the thing. I would never, ever, ever talk somebody into becoming a consultant. Because if I had to do that, I'm going to have to do it over and over and over. But I would talk them into just listening to more about Mary Kay. And so I'd love to just role play that with Jeannie, because I want you to feel confident in when you've made that list of your 10 sharpest women, okay, what are you going to say to them in order to book that interview? So, ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, girl.
Hey, do you have a quick second?
I do. What's up?
Okay, well, I have a fast question for you. You know, I've begun my Mary Kay business. I'm really excited to be able to do that. And as one of my first challenges, my sales director gave me a challenge to think about 10 of the sharpest women I knew. And she said they had to be fun. They could not be a stick in the mud. They needed to have credibility in their appearance. And they may or may not be interested in Mary Kay at all, but they were the kind of women that if they decided to be interested, I would really love to work with them. And so you immediately came to mind. And I don't know how this is catching you. It may or may not be for you at all, but I just wondered if you would be willing to help me out with my education and just loan me your ears for like 20-30 minutes and give me your feedback on the business part of Mary Kay and what it has to offer. Is there any reason why you couldn't help me out with that?
Oh, Beth, I'm just not the sales type. I'm not a glamour girl. Oh my gosh. This is just not something I'd be interested in.
Well, you know what? Let me just hear what you're saying. So you're not interested in becoming a consultant?
Correct.
Okay, would you be open to at least just hearing what Mary Kay has to offer? And it might be for somebody that you knew, and it could help me out with my education?
Well, as long as you know that this is not something I think I would be any good at, then yeah, I would help you with your education.
Okay, well, here is the deal. I will promise to shoot you straight, and my sales director is not a pushy person, and I will tell her that you are doing this to help me out. Are you good with that?
Yes, I'm very good with that.
Okay, well, we can do a couple different things. She offers a career chat opportunity where you can jump on the line for about 20-30 minutes, and we could do that via conference call. Does that sound great?
So I could even be at home in my jammies?
Absolutely.
Oh, sign me up. I'll do it 3 times.
Okay. All right. Well, here's one of the things I would love to do is just put some information in your hands, because sometimes it's kind of hard to build a second story on a vacant lot. And I want you to do this and pretend for me that you were interested in a Mary Kay business, because the better questions that you can ask, the more that will help me out. So I'm going to get you some info, just a CD for you to listen to, a brochure for you to flip through, and that way you can just maybe come up with some questions and pretend like you're interested, okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, great. Well, the chat is Monday night at 9 o'clock. Here's the phone number, passcode, and I just want to thank you for helping me out with my education. I so appreciate it.
Okay, well, no problem.
Okay, so in that scenario, once again, you're not trying to talk them into becoming a consultant. You just want them to be open to listen. Because really, those first initial practice interviews, they may or may not be interested. But I think the thing is, by the time you do 10 of those with your sales director, regardless of their answer, yes, no, you have, you've given them more information about Mary Kay the business. It's probably, if it's not for them, it might be for somebody they know. And a lot of times, by the time you've done those first 10 interviews, you're in your red jacket, and you didn't really know that they would be interested, but you're building your confidence and your skill in that area.
And I can remember as a brand new consultant, I would come and listen to my director do marketing. We didn't do career chats back then, but she offered marketing before her meeting. And so I would write down word for word for word. And y'all, honestly, I can tell you, I had been a director for a year and a half before I ever quit using her words, because they were comfortable. I felt confident with them. And so learning from your director about how to do a great interview is so simple. And so let's talk about that for just a few minutes. First of all, it is simple. You're going to want to invite them to be on a career chat or come with you to meeting or meet your director or recruiter for coffee somewhere. You want to first get that appointment set up. If it is going to be a career chat, that's so convenient for most people. And of course, there's never any substitute for face-to-face. But in this day and time with people's schedules and the fact that you might be living in Florida and doing an interview in Texas, the phone is just such a great option. But you want to get the information to your sales director about who is going to be interviewed so that she can call ahead of time, thank them in advance, which builds their commitment, and coaches them again to have some questions ready, which will make your training better, but it also will pique more interest on their part. And so when your director is conducting the interview, you're going to be listening and taking notes. Be very cautious not to interject unless your director specifically asks you to, because a confused mind does nothing, and your prospective team member is going to be taking in so much information. Just listening primarily to your director or recruiter, whoever's doing the interview, will make it much easier for her to process through that information. So your job is going to be to take notes like crazy. And if you are doing the interview on your own, using the team building brochure with the itemized questions right there, asking the questions and filling in the answers will take you step by step through that process. And of course, all of this time, you are working towards earning your pearls of sharing necklace, earrings, and bracelet. And there are prize vouchers for that, so please be sure to turn those in.
Closing the interview. So Jeannie, let's say that I have either worked my way through the interview form that Mary Kay gives us to be able to utilize, or I've shared with you the business information, and we're talking about closing out that interview. So those phraseology and kind of bringing that all to culmination might sound something like this. So Jeannie, based on everything I've shared with you today, tell me what was most impressive to you about the Mary Kay business opportunity, or about anything that you heard. What jumped out at you the most?
Well, I had no idea that you could earn a Mary Kay car for part-time work. Mm-hmm. And the fact that part-time work of your choosing, of your hours, that's huge. That would make a big difference in our family's budget.
You bet it would. And what would you do with that extra income for your budget?
Probably pay off debt, mm-hmm. and save for vacations, because most of the vacations are going to the in-laws or the parents, and to go on a real vacation where we didn't have to scrimp and we can do all the things that we wanted to do. That's what I would.
Where would you go?
Oh, wow. I'd probably want to go to like Hawaii or maybe the Grand Canyon.
Those are two very different places,
mm-hmm.
but either one would be equally great. Well, based on everything I've shared with you, what you shared with me, I don't see any reason why you would not be a great fit to be a consultant. And I would love the opportunity to be able to work with you. Is there any reason why you're not willing to just fill out your agreement, give it a try, take those next steps, and we'll get you started?
It just all sounds so good. I think I'm just scared, that I might not be any good.
Well, and I so appreciate you being honest with me, because, there's a lot of women who would tell you every reason under the sun versus just shooting you straight. And so what do you think you're fearful of?
Well, because I don't feel like I'm a girly girl, because I don't feel like I know anything about skincare or glamour. And I've never owned my own business, mm-hmm. And so those are all kind of things that's like, whoa.
Do you think you're a good student?
Oh, I'm a great student. When I put my mind to something, I'm a very good student.
So you learn very well as long as you have somebody who's giving you direction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will tell you, I'm a great teacher.
Uh-huh.
And so if you're a great student and I'm a great teacher, I know that we can create a partnership to create that extra income and design that debt-free life and maybe a vacation. So is there any reason why you're not ready to get started?
You really will walk me through it step by step.
Absolutely. And you determine that pace, Jeannie. If you want to run, we'll run. If you want to walk, we'll walk. All depends on how quick you want to eliminate debt and go to Hawaii.
Well, with the buyback guarantee, there's almost like nothing to lose. So
right.
I almost feel like I would be foolish not to stick my big toe in and try.
And you know, it's not a marriage. If you are not in love with it, then you don't have to divorce it. And you can look back. Wouldn't you rather look back and say, you know, I tried that, versus always wondering, I wonder what if?
Yeah. My mom always said that. Don't ever be someone who has regrets. It's better to try something and not do well than to not try and wonder the rest of your life.
That's exactly
And so, no,
right.
that's a very good point.
Well, and I want you to feel very confident about what those next steps would be. We'll fill out your agreement online. We can do that right here on my iPhone. And your starter kit will take about 3 or 4 days to arrive. Usually they're pretty snappy. At that point, I'll go through those starter kit contents with you, and I will take your hand, and we will go step by step by step so you feel really great about that process.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, let's get you started. And you can either send an online link, or if you're in person, always do it. Just right there. You can pull it up on your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, whatever you have, and do that agreement right there online.
And you know, y'all, the reasons that I gave when Beth and I were just role playing were the exact reasons that I gave when I first looked at this opportunity 23 years ago. And you're going to hear a lot of different things, but as Beth said, very often it will be some things that are not exactly the real reason, and that's why it's important to ask questions. Don't try and just overpower them with the solutions. Ask questions.
So let's say that Jeannie did not feel like she could make a decision right away. She needed to talk to a husband, follow up, whatever. And so I would say, okay, well, Jeannie, here's the deal. I believe that an intelligent woman can make a decision when she has all the information on a Mary Kay business opportunity within 24 to 48 hours. And the reason I think that's important is that anything kind of past that produces stress, and you're in that, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And this should be an added joy and a blessing and a benefit to your life, and not something that's going to create and produce stress. So are you a 24-hour or 48-hour kind of girl?
48-hour.
Okay, great. Well, that would put us like Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. Is that good if I call you then?
That'll work.
Okay. Now, when I call you, you're going to tell me one of two things. Either thought about it, prayed about it, talked to my husband, you know, I'm going to give you some more information to take home, and you're going to say, yes, I'm ready, I'm scared, but let's do it. Or you're going to say, I just love paying you full retail, and you're going to be my customer. And either way is going to be great with me. So can I count on you be there at 10:30 when I call you Saturday morning?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. I can't wait to talk to you then. I'm also going to leave you some more information. This is an Applause magazine. You can flip through that. This is a CD for you to be able to listen to. And also, are you a website girl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want you to be able to go to my website, marykay.com/Beth Austin. And there you're going to see a little link, Jeannie. It says Sell Mary Kay in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that, because that's going to give you tons of great information.
And so that it's just that simple. So whether she says yes and you send home a new consultant packet with her, which you printed off your unit's website, or she says I need more time and you send her home with an autobiography or an Applause magazine, as Beth said, you always want to be prepared with what you need at your disposal right then and there. That makes all the difference in the world. You appear more professional and prepared, and it gives her confidence that you are going to be a great leader for her. And so, gang, sharing this business is simple. It's just a matter of following the steps one by one by one. A couple of other action steps for you besides having those materials printed and ready is to take the objections for team building and put them on 3x5 cards, and the objection on one side and the correct response on the other, and work to memorize those, because it makes all the difference in your confidence level when you know that you're prepared. Also, you're going to want to book and hold those first several interviews with your sales director. So find out from her, when is going to be a great time? Is it going to be a career chat in person? Is it going to be over the phone? Is it going to be a unit meeting? What is that going to look like? And get those times reserved with her, and then set those appointments with your potential team members, or just the 10 sharpest women on your list. Remember, gang, when I began my business, this is such a great example. I didn't feel like I had done anything great in my business yet, but my director told me to talk to people who were just super successful in life and had those 5 qualities that we look for. I did, and I just asked them for practice interviews. From those practice interviews, the 12 people that back then it took to earn my car, 8 of them agreed to the interview just for practice and just to help me out. So never underestimate the ability to just inform people about all the opportunities just for doing a practice interview. It's a great way to break the ice.